you ever feel like God has your back, but the way he has your back, you just wish didn't? So if you've been following my shorts lately, you noticed that I have not stuck with the plan that I had. On Friday, my plan was to do this amazing prep video to show you guys how I prepped for a long trip, because I had to come down to my beach house. We were going to come down for a week, just do some maintenance and things that just needed to be done. Well, Friday evening, we got some calls from our neighbors and said the people that were staying in our house weren't actually the people who booked our house for the weekend. There's a really cool car show. Gulfport and Biloxi is just huge with car and bike culture down here. And we had, this past weekend was what's called Scrapin The Coast. And Scrapin The Coast is like for lowriders, stereos, trucks, mini trucks, things like that. So anyway, the people that were supposed to be staying here were, people in their middle, they're probably my age, late 40s, early 50s. And the people that showed up, and there was only supposed to be 8 of them. The people who showed up was about average age of about 18. And there was about 30 of them. And immediately started to blare music and just got rowdy. Now, I'm all for having a good time, but our listing explicitly says no parties and no large gatherings, because we have neighbors. We have especially one neighbor who is a nurse who works nights, and we want to make sure that we stay in good standing with all of our neighbors. And so when they start complaining, man, we take that very seriously. Well, we had to call the police. We had to call Airbnb. Finally was able to get them out. No help from Gulfport PD, but that's a whole other issue that I just won't talk about here. But finally got them out, but somebody said, hey, there's damage to your house. We don't know how much, but you need to get down here. So we abandoned all of our plans, had to drop what we were doing, pack up super fast, and go from our house in northeast Georgia down to Gulfport, Mississippi. And we left really early. Like, for me, it's really early. It's like 7 o'clock Saturday morning. So that was completely unexpected. Now, what I meant by you feel like God has your back, but the way he has your back, you wish you didn't, is leaving on Saturday, I had beautiful weather the entire ride. We hit just one brief spout of rain right before we got into Gulfport, between Mobile, Alabama and Gulfport. And that was it. It was a gorgeous ride. If we would have left on Sunday, it would have rained and poured on me the entire way. So in that way, it was a huge blessing. But the way it happened with, getting our house damaged was not something that I really wanted. Jeez, airplane. I'm recording here. Anyway, we have air base really close by, so can't really say anything. The Air Force and the Navy just constantly taking off. It's actually kind of fun to watch the fighters take off and just practice out over the Gulf. But anyway, where was I? So yeah, wish we didn't have to come down like we did, but we did. It was a great ride. We got here. They had completely ripped the door handle off of our front door.
Here's Johnny.
Completely gone. Have no idea where it went. So we had to get in through the only other door on our house. Here, I'm gonna flip this around and y'all can see what my house kind of looks like here. All right, so as you can see, our house is on stilts, as is all of our neighbors' houses. And so our house is elevated. There's the beach, you know, with UPS man squilling his brakes. But yes, my house kind of sits, beautiful view from my patio up there. So because our house is elevated, you know, we only have two entrances. We have the front door, the main entrance, and then as you walk around, there's a patio door that walks out to the patio that overlooks the beach. So anyway, we had to go in through that way. Thank God they weren't here overnight, so they didn't do any damage to the inside of the house. It was awesome. But on my way down here, if you've watched my first video, I have two uncles that have always been motorcycle riders, and they always told me, your bike is your lifeline, so make sure that it is always prepared. Make sure that it is always ready to go at a moment's notice. So thank God, you know, I already had my tires checked, my oils checked, all my fluids and everything was good. I knew that I had all of my tools. I have my Airmoto air pump, which I will put a link in the description below to show, you know, where you can get a discount for your own Airmoto. Airmoto is awesome. I love my Airmoto pump because you could set the, I say that I want a motorcycle, I set the pressure to where I want it, hook it in, start it, walk away, and it stops whenever it gets to, you know, 37 or 40 PSI, whatever. And that battery lasts forever. I've charged it one time and I've owned that thing for almost a year. So the other thing is, you know, I make sure that I have my tire repair kits with me at all times. I don't leave home without a tire repair kit. There's only been one time that I've blown a tire and a tire repair kit went in, and that was just because when the tire blew, it ripped up a hole in it. Instead of just being a puncture, it was a gash. So, but for 9 times out of 10, you know, a tire repair kit will be plenty to get you going. So, I'm just glad that I always followed my uncle's rules of making sure that your bike is always ready to go at a moment's notice, because it's your lifeline. If this is your only vehicle, you need to make sure that it's ready to go all the time. And thank God I listened to their advice. So the ride down was amazing. Like I said, God was really looking out for me because the weather was perfect. It was beautiful. Once we got down on the Gulf Coast, it got a little warm. I had to shed my jacket. Almost had to shed my full face helmet and just go with the brain bucket because it was getting really warm down here on the Gulf Coast. And I have issues with full-faced helmets anyways. I always suggest people wear full-faced helmets. They are safer, they are better. I am claustrophobic, so I really struggle with full-faced helmets. Just me being honest with you there. I ride it whenever I'm on long road trips like this one. Is 437 miles one way. So I rode it, but you know, it was hot. It was real hot when we got down here. I was dumping sweat. Ow! So anyway, so we got here. I had to fix the door handle. I had to go get a new door handle, put that on. That was super easy. It took me like 5 minutes. We had some lights. Like I said, we were already come down here to just do some general maintenance anyway. So had to replace a few lights inside, outside, from lightning strikes. Just cleaning up, doing some detail work, getting ready for the busy summer. And it was, you know, it could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse than it was. So I'm gonna post the ride now for you. Just real quick, show you the ride. Hope you enjoy it. 3 states in 6.5 hours. And it was a fun ride. I always enjoyed that ride, and I hope you enjoy it too. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Do me another favor, hit that like button as well. And I will post some more videos here in the coming days of the beach and the ride you can have if you come to Gulfport, Mississippi. Our beaches is the best kept secret on the Gulf. The softest sands. Fun fact, Mississippi does not have any natural beaches on its coastline. They are all man-made. So our beaches here, the sand is imported and it is like walking on a cloud. I love our beaches and they are not busy. I have one lady right now, I'm staring at her, walking across to go enjoy the beach by herself. She's the only one on the beach right now. So if you want to come to the Gulf Coast and you want to be overcrowded at PCB or Daytona or Dayton, you know, any of those, Orange Beach, Alabama, like any of those, they're crowded. If you don't want to be crowded, you want great coastal food and fantastic beaches, Biloxi and Gulfport is where you want to go. I'm just telling you, nobody knows about it. Well, I guess now they will. But these beaches, I'll post videos about our beaches here and more this week. You guys hopefully will enjoy it. And again, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and we will talk to you soon. Bye. So it's not a road trip until you get to Buc-ee's. I have a love-hate relationship with this place.